Arians also made it clear that he did not bench Antonio Brown. It's been quite a journey around the league since Brown's departure from the Steelers in 2019. He won Super Bowl 55 last season with Tampa and leaves them now being his third team in 3 years. RC, obviously former teammate of yours.
Yeah.
You're more familiar with him than us. What was your reaction to that whole situation and what went down yesterday?
You know what? I think people are going to say, based on my past conversations about Antonio Brown, that this is a lie, but I was actually surprised. And I'm certainly not an eternal optimist. I didn't think that it would leak over into football in this way. Antonio Brown has had his issues, right? In 2017, Antonio Brown was probably considered the best wide receiver in football, one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play this game. And then we started to see some little things from his personal life leak into football, where he didn't show up to practice for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or he didn't show up to a game in Cleveland. He's on the game or on the sideline in a fur coat. And there were all these things swirling about Antonio Brown. And then we see the saga with the Oakland Raiders and that thing all take place. And then you see what happens when he's with the New England Patriots, only able to play a game. And it seems like he gets things together. He stays out of the news until you have the fake COVID card. And so you have all these things happen, but Antonio Brown has been forgiven time and time again. He's been empowered time and time again. He's been entitled to these behaviors time and time again because he's an elite level athlete. And he also has an elite level athletic trait of competitiveness. When Antonio Brown shows up prepared to play a football game, there's no one that works harder. There's no one that gives more. There's no one that cared more about their individual performance than Antonio Brown. And I think that was why people were able to give him time and chance again.
Yeah.
He's now taken that away from himself.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown has quit on teams. Antonio Brown has quit on players, quit on people. Antonio Brown has never quit on himself. And yesterday, he quit on himself. And obviously, I'm not going to play Monday morning therapist and say that I think that there are certain things going on with him, or we don't know what type of tragedy or what type of trauma from his childhood is now showing up. But yesterday, he took everything away from himself. Yesterday, he sealed it that will be the last football game he will ever play in the NFL. You used to be able to say that no matter what, we know that he will compete. He no longer will do that. We used to be able to say that no matter what, he won't quit on himself or a football team on game day, and we can no longer say that. Antonio Brown is now holistically inconsistent as a human. You don't want inconsistent humans in your locker room. You don't want inconsistent players on your team, and you don't want a teammate that you cannot count on, and you can no longer count on Antonio Brown.
I think, first of all, it's the third time I've heard you talk about AB in this situation the last 2 hours, and every time it's powerful, man. It's real. So I have like two different thought processes. Like initially when it happened, and I was like you watching it, I wasn't surprised because this is, in my opinion, who AB has been and who AB has been enabled to be. So I wasn't shocked by it. And then I felt, I just hope he gets the help that seems like it's bigger than football. And then 12, 16 hours removed, and I started to think about it this morning more and more. How can I be more like Tom Brady in my reaction? Because when Tom uses the phrase, help him in the ways that he needs it, not that the way that we want him to get it, but in the way that he needs it. And I want to challenge myself and challenge everybody out there to like become better because of obviously this not good situation, because I think it's a very, real example that mental health and the struggle with it is very real. And I started thinking to myself, RC, like, how can we all learn, how did AB get here?
Yeah.
Like, why did AB get here? What road was traveled? And how was he, I don't want to say, like, how did he get himself into that space? And how did the people around him maybe not see it? Maybe not try to help him?
Sometimes a couple things came to mind, and I was the same way as you. Sometimes in life you can only compartmentalize so much.
Sure, yeah.
And then things start to seep into different areas. And the other thing, Tom Brady, it also stood out to me. I continue to have the utmost respect for him as a human being, to be the ultimate competitor. And the way he covered him, and the other thing that stood out to me is sometimes in life, and you heard him say the word love, you cannot save people.
Yeah.
You can only love them. And that's an example of this.
Yeah, and I think Tom Brady has attempted to save Antonio Brown in some of these situations. And you mentioned a little bit about how you get here. Antonio Brown was a single father in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown had his son, little AB. Little AB would sleep at my house. His first 2 birthday parties were planned by my wife, and the second I paid for. And it was because you saw the good in him.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a situation to where you met Antonio Brown and this is who he was. This is who he grew to be. And I think there were little glimpses and little pieces of the guy we see now. Yeah. We saw that young, but you never expected it to get to this point. Yeah. And I think the reason some of those things were let go, some of the stuff that we saw outside of the field, some of the things that we saw that didn't necessarily make him the best person, was they didn't leak into football. I always said the one thing I respected about him was whatever made him work, whatever it was, whether it was a fear of being broke, whether it was the ability to have fame, or whether it was just him understanding that this was a way he can make money, it made him work harder than anybody I knew. Yeah. And on game day, that showed up. And so for me to see him get to this point, to where the one thing that I felt like was sacred to him was the actual game, right? But, it was the actual grass.
First it's a whisper, and then the wall comes crashing down. Yeah. We know that lesson in life.
Yeah, I just think it's a prime opportunity for a lot of, like, because initially I think my reaction just flesh-wise was like, pile on, right. no surprise. And then hearing Tom's comments, and then I'm sitting there going, this doesn't happen, like this doesn't, and to your point, RC, like now it spills over onto the football field, which was his baby, the thing he cherished the most. I just think it's a good opportunity for all of us to pay attention to it and learn from it and be better for it, so that hopefully not only in the NFL world that there's not another AB type of situation, but also in our life outside of football.
And what happens is, obviously, when you've been as closely connected to reporting on this or analyzing Antonio Brown as I've been, and it's gotten as personal as it gets with us or had gotten with us, I'm always having people hit me up, okay, what do you think and what do you feel? Yeah. And initially when I said something about him, he was on top of the world, right? And as you continue to watch a person fall and the person continues to make mistake after mistake or bad decision after bad decision, it's no longer entertainment, right? We have to speak about this because it has now affected the game of football. But this isn't entertainment, right? This isn't for people to get laughs. This isn't for us to get jokes off. This isn't for us to sit here and critique him and condemn him for what he's going through.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.